Hey Laser Lab students, today I'm going to show you how to take an image off of the internet, download it, and then trace it. So in order to do that, I want you to go to Google and type in monster face illustration, and then we're going to download this file that you see right in front of you. Right click, download it, save it to your drive. I like this because it's got detail but not too much detail, so it's easy to follow. So this is a good image to start off with. So go ahead and right click that, save it to your drive, and then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to this new website that you might have not used before. It's called photopea.com. So you'll see that's how you spell it. Then you're going to open from your computer that monster file that you just downloaded, and it'll load it here. The first thing we want to do when we're in Photopea is we want to change it from green to just black and white. We're going to go for simplicity. There will be shades of color in there, but we definitely want to get rid of colors that might confuse our laser cutters, like the greens and the reds. So we'll turn it black. We'll go to image adjustment, black and white, hit OK. And for now, that'll be enough. You can do a lot more with Photopea, but for now we're just going to go ahead and go File, Export PNG, so that we can now move this black and white photo into vector.com, and then we can start the trace there. So now that we're in Vector, we're going to go create a new artwork and name it Monster Face or something recognizable, and then we're going to change it to 900 by 900 pixels, which is again equating to about 10 inches. And using the upload button, we're going to go choose that file that we just downloaded and put it into Vector. It's important that the image is centered on your canvas. Once we do that, we're going to go grab the pen tool, and we're going to start doing what's a rough outline of the monster. We're going to get much more detailed as we go, but to start off with, we're just going to roughly trace around it, getting into all those crevices and trying to follow the curvature of the shape that we're copying. Now, fortunately, a little hack that I decided to try is, rather than to try to trace a whole entire creature at once, what we're going to do is we're going to try to copy it, trace it down the middle, and since it's a symmetrical image, then we can, once we get that pink line, we can just do half, copy it, and then mirror it and merge them together. We're going to turn that black line red so that we can better see it, and our task right now is going to be to now refine that rough trace by zooming into those curves, and we're trying to close the gap between the red line, the white space, and the black line. So we want to get it nice and tight inside of there in those curves. So if you really zoom in, you can start to eliminate and trace that. Now you'll see that so far our lines are very jagged or angular, and we want to round those off, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But I'm moving those little white nodes to follow the curvature of that black line. If you double click on any one of those nodes, they'll go from being jagged or angular to rounded. So double click on a node, and then you can also drag them from one place to another, and you can also add extra nodes. So but it's just going to be a matter of practicing with the tool so that you're doing nice curves that follow the black curvature of the monster face. The closer you zoom in, the better your trace will be, so you can really pay attention to those fine details. There should not be any white space between the red line and the black line, and we're trying the best we can to follow, again, the curve of the black line. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip forward because I think you guys get how the tool works, and now it's just going to be a matter of practicing with it. So when you're done tracing, this is what it'll kind of look like. You've got the monster image, and then you've got half the face traced out. And since it's symmetrical, we're going to go ahead and take away the view of the monster image And now we're left with only the red path. If we do Control C, Control V, copy, paste, and then flip, now we got two halves which will be turned into one. Now we're going to merge those two. Using our keyboard, we're going to press left button until they're overlapping just a smidge, and then when you unite them, the two become one. We bring the monster back into view, and then we see that our image is traced. But since this is a layer project, it's also probably a good idea for us to set up a couple different layers. So we're going to go make some 450 by 450 pixel boxes. We're going to once again put them at position 0x0y, and we'll just move this monster aside for 1 second. We'll get rid of the fill color, change the border color to red because that is our cut color. So when we turn it red, we can put our monster inside of, or actually let's go copy this box a few more times so that we're splitting our wood into 4 equal parts. So Control C, Control V again. Try to get an approximate location, but if you go down to your coordinates, your XY coordinates down below, this time we want 450 by 0. We'll put our monster into the first box, and then we'll copy and paste it again for the bottom left corner, and we'll try to get close, but we'll always check our XY coordinates 0, 450 to get it perfectly aligned, and then we only have to do it one more time. Even though we already have a box there, it's not a complete box, we're going to do it one more time, and this time we're going to put in the coordinates 450 by 450. Now we're going to have each box do something different. Since this is a layer project, we want to differentiate one box from the next. So once we have it centered, we're going to say the first top left box will be our raster engraved, so that will actually burn the image in, and then cut it out if you leave it red. Second one will be a void or negative space, where it's basically creating a monster shaped frame. And then our bottom left box, we can even make it a larger to do that like cascading effect, so we can add a couple of pixels. It's right now at 279. If we do 300, it means it's going to be a bigger opening. And then our third box we'll just kind of leave as is, so that could be the very back of our frame. And there's a lot of different ways to think through this, but since we have 4 pieces, we want them to do different things.